Welcome to At CCLI. I'm Paul Herman, and today we're going to be talking with a couple members of Mosaic MSC from Los Angeles. As you might expect, they're the worship band from Mosaic Church, led by Pastor McManus. And Erwin's daughter Mariah is one of the worship pastors there, along with Andres Figueroa. Welcome, both of you. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us.
So tell us how the band came together.
About 3 years ago, maybe 4 now. Time flies.
Yes, it does.
Just a few of us kind of came together to do another project in a studio and just write songs together. And one of them had an idea for a worship song, and we had never really written songs before as a church. The next day we were like, let's just come together and do it again. And the next day, and for like 3 weeks straight, we just kind of started writing songs and coming together, and then started bringing people in. It started with 2 of us, and then like every day we kind of brought a new person in to write with us. And a lot of the people that are there now aren't that group of people, but it kind of grew from there and started inspiring people to write for Mosaic, and it kind of just opened the door. Those songs weren't like, some of those songs we still play and are still really close to our hearts. Yeah. One of the songs is Glory and Wonder, which is like the name of the record, the title track. But some of those songs are long gone. But it just opened the door for people to kind of take ownership of writing songs for our church. And so, yeah.
And so how many people are involved now? I mean, how many different teams and writers? And yeah.
Well, our worship team as a whole is about 60 people. Then writing right now, there's about 6 or 8 of us, it seems like. And we're always continuously like trying out things with other people. It takes a little bit of time before it like produces a song that we will play at church. But so we're always on the lookout to just like, let's see what happens if we put these 2 together and they write, or let's see what happens if we bring in this person. And so we're actually working a lot on that right now, and just trying to invite more people into like the writing for our church, especially within our church, because they're all leaders, all people that are serving, volunteering within the church. So we're working on expanding that now, but it's about six of us, I feel like, right now writing.
And for all the musicians and singers, I mean, that's a number of people. So how do you then form the teams, and how do you schedule everyone?
Well, we don't have like set teams. It's because people in Los Angeles, everybody's schedule is so crazy. It's hard to keep like a very consistent thing. But before we went out on tour, 8 of us went out on tour. We spent about 7 weeks just meeting with some of our key leaders on the team and training them up and trying to get them as ready as possible to kind of hold it down at home while we were away. And so every Sunday we're scheduling, and we kind of do it as like, when we're, especially with bands, if there's somebody fairly new, then we try to keep like 2 veterans with them, or 2 people that are more solid, or if there's somebody that's still getting the swing of it, then we're like, okay, let's pair them with this person that really knows it. And so we always try to have, of those core leaders, we always try to have about 3 of them like playing every Sunday, either singing or playing an instrument or MDing, so that because if you put like 5 new people at the same time, it's not going to be great. But it'll be worshipful, not nice.
Not enjoyable.
And I was going to ask you, so they really can cover you when you're out on the road?
Oh yeah, I mean, and we tune into the live stream every Sunday, and we're like super proud of them. And it just,
and they know you're watching?
Yes. They very much know we're watching.
We do send notes. We'll be like, stop doing that.
But it keeps us like really connected to send them notes, and like we have a thing that we send, like a group text or whatever, and we send notes through there, and just so that they can kind of learn and pick up on things. And they're all very young. Our church is very young, so a lot of them are new Christians. Pretty much every single person is like under 30. So they're all new to so many things. So it's so important to like keep being involved in their life even when we're gone. So it feels like, yes, we're away and it's been a while, but we're so constantly in contact with them and encouraging them and helping them through it. So
that's great. I wanted to ask you about your song Tremble, because it's showing up real strong on our charts. So clearly it's resonating with the churches out there. Talk about that song and how it came together.
That song is a surprise. That's one of those songs that I think neither of us thought would really do anything. it hadn't like had its moment in the studio for us until we actually played it, and it was like, okay, maybe we were wrong. And I think that's a real humbling place to be when you feel like something's not going to work. And it's also exciting. It's exciting and humbling at the same time, because you're like, I knew this wasn't going to work, but it did. I think it's such a beauty in like the simplicity of the song, and I think people really respond when you have a song that's just calling out to Jesus, you know. And I think those are the most like beautiful songs. And what I love about that song is people in any sort of situation, or in a praise moment, or in those moments that are really dark and heavy, can connect to it. And I think that's where that thing clicks with that song.
So your people responded to it in a way that you didn't imagine or expect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's the best part about being part of a church and writing songs, is they're the best in a worst crowd, because they'll tell you whether or not they like a song almost immediately. And so those are the special songs when you go up and you're like, we're just gonna try this and we'll see. And sometimes it doesn't work. We have so many songs that we've never played again. But that song was different and special when we played it for the first time.
That's great. So any other thoughts that you have for the worship teams and worship leaders around the country, for our CCLI churches? Anything you'd like to tell them?
Yeah. You got something?
Well, I mean, I'm always ready. I would say one big thing for us is keep the non-believer in mind as you're building your worship culture, because sometimes we can get so focused on people that already know and use lyrics that would only be familiar to somebody who's familiar with Christianity or the Bible or Jesus. And so trying to write songs or sing songs that somebody who doesn't know Jesus at all, or could be from a different faith even, would be able to connect to or understand. That way you're creating a space for people to meet Jesus, or you're creating a space where people can feel welcome. And I feel like that has been huge. I mean, it begins with our pastor, with Erwin, instilling that value in us, and that translates into our worship and our songwriting and how we approach it. But yeah, just keeping the non-believer in mind when you're writing, when you're creating when you're making choices about your worship culture. Yeah.
Mariah, anything else?
Yeah, I got it.
Go for it.
I was just thinking about this earlier, just being so connected. I feel like when you're leading worship, you can have this sort of isolating group of people, because you're on stage and people aren't, and you're in the green room and people aren't. And something that I love about our culture is that people are serving on other teams when they're not on stage. And I feel like that's changed even the way we choose songs, because we're actually sort of in touch with the heartbeat of what's happening at Mosaic. And I feel like that's so important when you're a worship leader and you're choosing songs. You're looking for the songs that are actually speaking what your church and your people are speaking. And that's, I mean, for us, like, we don't choose songs as much because we're trying to write those songs that are actually like really the language of what people at our church are saying. But if you're not writing songs yet, if you're just choosing songs, I think it's so important still to be like, what are those lyrics? What is that emotion? What are the things that we need to speak to in our church that are important? I think that's so important when you're choosing songs.
That's great. Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we are going to finish this interview a little different. Mosaic has actually developed a significant following among the Hispanic community throughout the U.S. and also in Latin America. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to a colleague of mine, Patty Lundy, and she's going to ask a few questions.
Hola, soy Patty Lundy, soy la asistente ejecutiva aquí en CCLI y hoy tenemos el gusto de tener unos miembros del grupo Mosaic. Está Carlos y Mariah. Queremos tomar la oportunidad para hacerle algunas preguntas. Dime, ¿qué es lo que piensa usted que atrae a la comunidad hispana a su ministerio y a las canciones que cantan?
Yo creo que mucho tiene que ver con el factor de que nuestra iglesia en Hollywood tiene gente de diferentes partes del mundo, está influenciada por gente de Asia, Europa, todas partes de África, Estados Unidos, pero Latinoamérica también hay mucha influencia, empezando con nuestro pastor principal, el pastor Erwin McManus, que es el papá de Mariah, que él es de... ¿Tu papá? ¿De dónde es?
¿A Salvador?
Él es de El Salvador, empezando desde nuestro lead pastor, que provee una diversidad de iglesia, y yo creo que es una de las razones principales. Yo soy puertorriqueño, y en el grupo MSC habemos 3 puertorriqueños, uno de los muchachos es de Brasil. So, ya dentro de nuestro grupo hay mucha diversidad y yo creo que eso es parte también de lo que hace que nuestra música sea, la gente la encuentra accesible, especialmente en Latinoamérica.
Claro, claro que sí, me imagino con el pastor siendo de El Salvador, así es. Dicen que van a lanzar un EP en Latinoamérica este próximo año. ¿Pueden decir cuáles son los anhelos del grupo para ese proyecto?
Estamos súper emocionados con poder lanzar nuestra música en español. Ha sido un deseo mío y especialmente del pastor Erwin y de los líderes de la iglesia por años. Lo que quisiéramos honestamente es que la música sea tocada en iglesias, en comunidades, en todas partes de Latinoamérica. Tenemos muchos amigos pastores en Latinoamérica que nos han estado pidiendo las canciones. Es emocionante saber que vamos a tener la oportunidad de lanzarlo.
Qué lindo. Y Mariah, ¿qué canciones van a incluir en este proyecto del EP?
Hasta ahora creemos que The One, Heartbeat, y el resto es una sorpresa.
Claro, nos van a dejar en suspenso. Qué lindo. ¿Y qué tan fácil o cómo es el traducir todas las canciones que cantan del inglés al español?
Es un proyecto, toma tiempo y nuestra comunidad y la forma que escribimos canciones es bastante única en sí misma, refleja mucho de la comunidad donde venimos, de Hollywood y de Los Ángeles, y traducirlas en español sí es un reto para nosotros. La primera canción que estamos trabajando con ella, yo empecé con una idea y después no me gustó, la boté, cogí otra y yo como que let's try it again, hacerlo de nuevo.
Porque están tratando de retener en inglés, digamos en español, lo que están cantando en inglés.
Y es difícil, pero es un buen reto.
Qué bueno, qué alegre. Pues muchísimas gracias a los dos por estar con nosotros el día de hoy. Y gracias a ustedes, que Dios les bendiga.